Abundance is our divine heritage and high destiny. The ancient secrets now reveal that we hold within our DNA the magic power of the gods and the divine potential for infinite possibilities. We are alchemists, masters of our fate, a powerful force of creation, and coded with the perfect blueprint for perfection and abundance. But we forgot. The false ideas of the world have seeped into our cell memory and programmed us into scarcity. Until now, when we can change the DNA, the programs, the stories, the memories, and restore our genes to their ancient program of abundance. I'm Audrey Hope. Please join me on this next episode of Real Women with my very special guest, Margaret Ruby, for the DNA code of abundance. It is time to activate the ancient secrets of abundance. It is time to activate the abundance gene. Please join us. My special guest, Margaret Ruby, has succeeded in her lifelong quest to uncover the ancient secrets of manifestation. Margaret Ruby is a powerfully gifted teacher and a pioneer in the field of transformation. She combines the ancient art of healing with cutting-edge research in biochemistry, philosophy, physiology, and quantum physics. And she is here today to help us program our DNA to its original code of abundance. Welcome, Margaret. I know you traveled so far to get here, and I'm so grateful to have you here. You say that whatever is working in our life or not working in our life can be traced back into our DNA, and that we have to find the real story in order to change the patterns. Could you explain this?
Yes, I'd love to. Well, it's a very well-known fact that the color of your hair and the color of your eyes are handed down in the DNA memory, but it's a much less known fact that our emotions, thoughts, and beliefs are also recorded in the DNA memory, let alone the emotions, thoughts, and beliefs of your ancestors. They're also recorded in your DNA memory, and they're handed down lineage after lineage, generation after generation to the beginning of time.
That's just fascinating, that we can change the DNA. So it is a flexible code? It is something we can change?
Up until the mapping of the genes, DNA was considered a fixed code. And when they mapped the genes, they discovered it was a flexible code.
Fascinating.
And they're now discovering that the DNA's changes through our thoughts and emotions and belief systems.
This is amazing, because I'd like to bring up the book by Dr. Emoto called Messages from Water, which is a best-selling book. And maybe we could show the audience what it's like to change the vibration of water. These are pictures that when you hold the water and you say, "You make me sick," the water turns into this. And when you say to the water, "Thank you very much," it turns into the most beautiful, perfect crystal. And it's just fascinating. And I think, Margaret, that's kind of what you're trying to say, that if you change vibrations, frequencies, that it activates certain patterns.
Yes, when you look at a cell, when it's in a healthy state, it looks like that beautiful snowflake, that beautiful crystal. It's a complex geometric patterning. But when you hold a lot of belief systems in your genetic memory that we have to suffer, you can't do it, you don't deserve it, then the picture is a big blob like you just saw in Dr. Emoto's pictures. That's exactly what takes place vibrationally inside your cell.
And we're holding things in our own body from the matrix. You mentioned the matrix, which is the world belief systems. Could you explain something about that?
Well, I call the belief systems of our culture the matrix, the things that we've learned, that we've been taught, what's right or wrong, yes, good or bad. Mm-hmm. And I named it after the movie The Matrix because it talks about it's all an illusion. And the matrix is an illusion because it's something we've learned, and we've forgotten our inherent blueprint, which is a blueprint for wellness and abundance, and that's what we need to reinstate.
So you've been told that it's time. What do you mean that it's time? What time is it?
It's time now for everyone to have abundance. We've been working with the scarcity gene for so long now that we can't go forward. We can't move as a species to our next evolution of empowerment. We have to activate the abundance gene. And I was told in my altered state or from the cosmic universal field of divine knowledge,
a dream,
okay, that the abundance gene will first be activated in America. We'll wake it up here because the genetic blueprint is based within the soil of this country. Our country was based on the foundation of a freedom for all, abundance for all. And so it's already set here. We just kind of forgot it. We've moved away from it in the last 200 years. We've been slowly turning that vibration off, and now it's time to up it again, return it back on.
This abundance gene is so beautiful. And it came to you in the dream, and then what happened the next morning?
Well, the next morning, after I was shown the steps, the vibration, and the words how to reinstate the gene within the human body, I work with a visionary artist named Rita Phillips, and she was shown what the energy looks like. So she draws the pictures of what I see in the dream state, and we put it together.
I would like to show the audience this abundance gene. It is so spectacular, and I'm so grateful to have this to show. It is so powerful. So please take a look at the abundance gene by Margaret Ruby.
I was shown a magnificent gene. The crystal radiance of this gene sparkles and radiates its holographic field of brilliance. The gene is our fifth dimensional gene of abundance. I was told that it's time now, and that we are ready to activate this gene in our energetic DNA. The gene is programmed with the joy of abundance and holds a path to open many doorways of abundance that are available to us now. I was given the complete process on how to activate the gene. The next morning, after I was given the activation, I called Rita, a visionary artist, to tell her what had happened. Rita had also asked to be shown the geometries of light of the abundance gene. That very same night that I was given the activation, she was given the images that activate the abundance gene. These are the images you are viewing now. Rita was shown the angel of abundance. This angel is new to our realm. The density of the planet did not let this angel break through the veil until now. Rita calls the new angels the sentient beings of the axonal realm. The energies of this angel have come to help us activate and incorporate the fifth dimensional abundance gene. The abundance gene was created in the perfection of love. When activated, it sees the world as expanding and infinitely abundant. It holds the feelings of gratitude. It celebrates harmony, and it moves you into grace, compassion, and forgiveness. It reminds you that the world is abundant. It's greater than us and has no end to its wealth.
It's just beautiful, Margaret. Just, you know, I feel like in an altered state watching it. And so you use light, you use sound, and you use numbers. And the numbers have vibrations. Can you explain these codes?
Yes. Our DNA is a code. It's made up of 4 letters, A, T, C, and G, and those codes are interpreted through numbers. And every number carries a vibration that creates a geometric pattern. Just like in Emoto's picture, the beautiful crystal when the water is healthy. Our cells are a beautiful crystal when they're healthy and our DNA is flowing in abundance. So I was given this series of numbers that reinstate the cell back to its perfect geometric blueprint for health, wealth, and abundance.
Well, I have been in your class, and I know you told us that someone once had a burn, and you used Pythagorean theorem and numbers to heal the burn.
Yes, immediately they'll regenerate and rejuvenate the body.
This is absolutely fascinating. These are the ancient secrets of abundance. I love the story about the 16-year-old teenager who had a wheat allergy. Can you tell us about him?
Yes, I'd love to tell you that story because it really shows how the memories handed down in the genetic lineage affect our life. So I had the opportunity to do some healings, and I was working with a young man who had an allergy to wheat. He was 17 years of age, and he became allergic to wheat on his 16th birthday. And,
how strange.
It was strange, because now he was not allergic to wheat up until that time. So when I looked inside his DNA, there was a story of a young man walking out of a wheat field, and behind him, everyone in the wheat field had been killed. It felt like it was coming from an eastern country. So I told the young man this story that I saw in his DNA, and he said he didn't have a memory of that, but his mother was there, and she said, you know, that's a true story. She said his great-grandfather came to America from Russia because the family had been killed in a wheat field.
Oh my.
Now, the grandfather, whose family was killed in a wheat field, the emotions that he felt at the time of that death created a memory in his DNA that said wheat and death are the same energy.
Fascinating.
So when this young boy was 16, in this life, his own father died. And the death of his father created the same emotions that the grandfather felt, and those emotions told his body that wheat and death were the same thing, and at that moment he became allergic to wheat.
This is amazing, a revolutionary way to heal. So we just have to find the story.
Yes, you have to find the story that's come down through the lineage and the stories that we're playing out in today, because our ancestral stories affect our world. They found a gene, they call it the phobia gene, DPU-25 or something like that. And before the discovery of this gene, phobias were considered a psychological problem. But now they know that they're a genetic problem. So if you're afraid of water, they could go back through your lineage and find perhaps 7 generations back you had a grandmother who drowned, and that's why you're afraid of water today.
Fascinating.
This is the new science that they're starting to move into now. So
yes, and this is sacred geometry.
And it's sacred geometry.
I would like to now show the audience how to activate the abundance gene.
Oh, great. That would be wonderful.
So we're going to show that now, the activation of the abundance gene.
Deep inside you is the potential of all you can be. You're now going to activate the abundance gene back to its original source of perfection. You are now moving into the energies of the principle of one. Breathe deep into this resonator, for it holds a binary sequence to turn programs on and off at the genetic level. This crystal image is stimulating the resonance of the creator cell, aligning you to the divine. It holds the energy of sacred intent and the mastery of manifestation in the third dimensional world. Put your attention to the base of your spine. It is here that your creator cell lives. Within the creator cell lives a master template code for abundance. Feel a deep warmth at the base of your spine as this resonator activates the living flame of creation. Feel the golden flame as it intensifies and expands. Feel the circular motion of its power as it starts to spiral up your central column. Feel the golden flame as it continues to spiral. The energy is growing and expanding, and it's continuing to spiral right to the top of your head. It is here the energy enters your master cell. It is within your master cell that your recorder cell lives. The recorder cell is now connecting you to all that was, all that is, and all that's to come. You are now entering the master cell. You have gone into the master cell. With each breath, you're moving deeper and deeper into the master cell. The cell has the ability to program all the cells and genetic codes throughout your body. Feel the master cell awakening. Within the center of the master cell is a golden crystal, a magnificent jewel that holds the light of abundance. Feel yourself going deep inside the liquid crystal. It is here your genetic templates to abundance are awakened. Feel your master cell as it starts to pulse. It starts to pulse with the codes of the creative abundance. The pulsing continues to build and pulse until it creates a rhythm. 24, 36, 36, and 4. 24, 36, 36, and 4. 24, 36, 36, and 4.
You know, Margaret, I feel some vibrations here. Is very powerful energy going through as I watch that.
Well, your master cell is in your pineal gland energetically,
Here,
so that's
pineal
exactly
gland,
why
yes.
you're feeling it.